With us today is Casey from 600 Pound Life. We had mentioned him on the previous episode I posted about the 700-pound kindergarten teacher. And I wanted to do a little bit of checking up on you. And we got in touch with you. So I'm really happy that we were able to get in contact with each other.
Same. Glad to be here.
I've actually always had a lot of questions for you. You know,
You can
um,
ask away.
it's one of the most iconic episodes, in my opinion, of 600 Pound Life. So let me well, first of all, how are you?
On like a grand scale of things, I'm pretty good. Like the weight loss stalls, the smaller you get. I'm at like 250 right now, which is pretty cool. Well, 254, 253.
That's
But
amazing. I mean, I weigh about the same amount.
yeah, it's and I have like probably I have 20 pounds of skin that I got to probably get removed. So it's like that's pretty cool. But like all in all, I'm good. I still work. I go around. I'm living life. I hang out. Very different from how it was back then, as far as like the things I do and how I operate and stuff. Feels pretty good. I'm all around. I'm pretty happy.
It's incredible, man, to see how much weight you lost. I'll put some like before and after photos on screen,
Yeah.
but it's actually just it's got to be so hard to lose that amount of weight because it's not just the weight loss. Like, I mean, there's got to be some mental addiction, traumatic kind of attachment to food, right? So it's not just like, oh, I need to lose weight. There's more. There's like a mental aspect to it too, I'm sure.
No, yeah, it's you people don't understand that like it's not just like there's a cliche answer of like just don't eat fatty. Like that's
Yeah.
literally like what people on the internet will tell you, but like you wouldn't say that to a person that was addicted to any other kind of like substance. I was in every way dependent upon food to like get me happy. Like I did other stuff. I was gaming and like I watched movies, but like my true high and like happiness would come from like just eating 20 chicken tenders and big plates of tater tots, dipping it all in ranch. It was like even to this day, I still miss like I know I'll never enjoy another buffet. I don't get to indulge myself in like large amounts of food. Even on like holidays, I'm eating like smaller amounts because my stomach just isn't as big as it used to be. There is still like now that I miss food, but um, yeah, like it's wild to think of where I was and where I am now, and like I if I got to 245, from biggest to now, I would have lost 600 pounds. So
Whoa, 600. That's when I was doing the episode a few days ago. I was like, wow, he must have lost 500 pounds. You lost even more than that.
yeah, well, because on the show, the biggest I ever was 711, and they don't really talk about like they do talk about your past to be on the show, but once you're on the show, they're not going to bring up the highest weight you ever got to because they don't have any footage of that. They don't have anything to show that, so they're just like the first day on the show I get weighed, and it was or not the first day because we filmed everything at the house the first day, but like the second time we filmed was at the doctor's office, and that's when I got on the scale. I didn't even know what I weighed because I just didn't really want to.
So you had already lost a lot of weight by the time the show started?
Yeah, because like 10, well, yeah, I'll say 10 years from now. I mean, past. I was at like 845. I went to the hospital for 3 weeks. They
Hmm.
had me on oxygen because I just couldn't breathe and I couldn't get my blood oxygen level normal. Stayed there for 3 weeks, lost 50 pounds just by staying there. Found out
Hmm.
I had sleep apnea. Started going to the gym and walking just in the water and like eating better. I really did try, and I got to like 545 naturally, plateaued really hard, got depressed, gained weight again, and that's when the opportunity to be on the show happened, and I was at 700.
So I want to ask you first about the show.
Yeah.
How did you get in contact with the show, first of all?
So a friend of mine named Amanda, she's on like the last episode. Because ours is a season. There's 6 episodes. On the last episode when they do the reveal, she's on it. She got in touch with me saying that she had a friend of a friend who had the opportunity to be on the show, and that was the girl named Amy that's on the show, because like people don't know that like I'm not actually related to Amy. They're not my cousins.
Hmm.
We just met to be on the show. Ed is my cousin because there were 4 of us, but and we don't really keep it a secret. That might be another reason why we haven't been on another season of another show, because we've all lost weight and never been really contact. Amanda's on a show, but um, one of their like Discovery Plus things. But yeah, so my friend Amanda got in touch with me, and then I got in touch with her friend, and then she got me in touch with Amy. I sent her like my baseball card stats of like how fat I was and all this stuff, and
And then the
because really,
producers were like, we love him. We
oh
want
yeah,
him.
they're like, he's huge and he's a train wreck. Get him on the show. We love it.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so they get you on the show. How do you feel like you were portrayed on the show? Do you feel like it was an accurate portrayal?
So people don't. A lot of people, some people do, some people don't understand that like TLC is not a documentary network. It's a reality show like network. So they're going to portray you in a way that profits them. You know, they're gonna get what they want. I had no idea how TV really worked, so they they knew what they were doing. I don't think I was portrayed greatly. I was a negative person. I was hard to deal with. I was salty. I was very rude. But I also think that like they fully were like, let's put him in scenes that we know are going to make him pretty upset. There is like
Hmm.
suggestive scripting,
Hmm.
and there are like scenes that kind of get manipulated to make me seem worse. Like the whole I took the food from my father thing, that was never a thing. It
Hmm.
wasn't at all like an actual thing. That day they had said, just order a bunch of food for you. We're gonna feed you McDonald's. You're gonna eat it, and then we're gonna film it. That's all that's gonna happen. So my dad then walks in the room and he's like, "Hey, they messed up the order. They didn't give me my food." I was like, "Yeah," because in my head I'm like, "Yeah," because you didn't order anything. This is all for me, so I'll take it. But when he came in the house, they told him to say that. So when he walks in my room, he says that, and then they're like, "It's perfect, great. It
Dirty.
looks like he took your food." So
That's fucked up.
I mean, yeah, because the main thing for TLC is, and nothing against them, they saved my life. I wouldn't be this small without them. I would have never gotten the surgery probably. Um, but like, they're going to make you hate me because they don't care if you like me. They just want you to watch the show. Sorry, my dog's going to
Do you
get.
think ultimately TLC cared about you as a person at all, or they just care about the show?
TLC doesn't care. I don't think like it's hard. I never spoke to maybe but one person. I think I was in email contact with like 2 people at TLC. I never spoke to anyone on the phone. So it's hard to really connect or care about a person you never met. I was just words on a keyboard. The production crew that they hired, those people definitely cared about me. I'm still friends with a bunch of them. But like TLC, the company, the people. I can't say whether or not they cared about me because we never met. We never had a conversation really. They have they get sent a lot of footage, and then they kind of decide how they want the narrative of the show to be, and then the production company kind of like works within those confines. So like I can't say they cared. I
Well,
can't
you,
say they didn't.
yeah, I
But
got you. So, but you're saying basically the show did help you lose weight being on the show.
yeah, like if anything, like I can't ever be mad at like how, because like they have to get something out of it, and I've gotten gain of like life tenfold. Like my, I didn't have insurance. They paid for the surgery. It was like 60 grand
Okay,
for that
wow.
surgery. So they paid for that. They pay
Wow.
you to be on the show. I don't have a like a ginormous following on Instagram or YouTube, but I have like a following, and none of that would be. And those people constantly hit me up and tell me, "You look great. You look so good." I wouldn't be meeting you. I wouldn't be on other YouTube channels. No one would know who I am because there are other people that lose the weight they lose. But yeah, they paid for my surgery. They changed my life. I'm alive. I'm 37. I was 33 on the show.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't probably even be alive. I definitely probably wouldn't be this small. I don't know if I would have gotten the surgery. So like hugely
Well,
beneficial to
that's
my
nice.
life.
That's good to know that there is like it was a benefit to you that they didn't
Oh
just
yeah,
kind of use you
yeah.
and move. That
I mean,
that is nice. I'm really happy to hear that at least.
yeah. Like, do they exploit the people? Sure, but they
Yeah.
have to get something out of out of the person to
Hmm.
have them on the show and pay for their surgery. They have to gain just like you're going to gain.
So let me ask you this: those camera angles, bro.
It's awful. Listen, even when they were recording me, the oh, it's a wide lens. It's the size of a globe, and it's legitimately at the level of my stomach. It's so bad, and I look like I have a camel toe. Oh god, my stomach. I
Yeah.
don't know why it divides like
So
that. I
you knew,
look.
you knew even when they set that thing up that they were going for some weird shit.
Yeah, because I mean, I would ask questions. I was inquisitive. I wanted to know things. I wanted to be informed, and I was like, man, this camera's really low. And they're like, don't worry, wide angle. We got you. Little did I know wide angle meant it was going to push
They know
forward on one
exactly
thing.
what they're doing, man.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
I mean,
another question I have. The bathtub scene, is that really how you were bathing at the time?
so not at the time, but so when I told you, like, you give them baseball card stats of like things you had to go through and like your weight, you basically tell them all the hurdles, difficulties of life you've had to go through. And because at one point I legitimately was 845 pounds bathing on the back porch, they were like, we want to film that. We want that on the show. And I was like, okay. And they were like, do you still have that tub? And I was like, no, we sold it. Because once I got small enough to bathe in the shower, I just did it in there. So they're like, don't worry, we got it. So the day they wanted to film that, they just showed up in like August. No, it was probably like after July. And they were like, we got a tub.
We
You're
got the
filming today
trough.
outside. And I was like, yeah, yeah, literally. Because the one we used was a big plastic. It was bigger than that one. It was big and plastic. That one was metal. The water was freezing. We don't normally use dish soap, just to be clear. But they were like, if he's naked, we don't want his like stuff showing. So like we got to put bubbles in the water.
Oh, they're so
They
they
wanted
did.
it to look like and they wanted to look like I've been bathing. So the easiest way to do that is to just make it soapy. So many people were like, dish soap is not good for your skin, and I was like, okay, thanks.
That's fuck. That is great, man. I love having all the back details. These guys, they're so dirty. The reality producers.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, I don't shy away from any question. I literally will answer like the worst to the funniest to the best like stuff. Because if someone has a general interest in like my well being or how it works, I'm all for it. If you just want to laugh at me and like make jokes, I kind of like shy away from that because I don't want to be like ridiculed. There's already videos of like 30 million views of me on like TLC UK sitting in my room naked. So I'm
yeah.
good.
How do you feel about all that old footage of you, like naked, playing video games in the trough? Does it? Are you able to kind of look past that stuff? Because I mean, if I saw you now, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't even associate you with that guy. I mean,
Now I can.
yeah.
They gave us an early viewing of the first episode, and that's where like I'm sitting in my room naked. I cried 3 times. I'm super
Wow.
emotional. I cried 3 times, and I had to turn it off twice because I couldn't watch it. But that was like legitimately in 2018, not 2018 when I first watched it because that's when it first came out. And it was brutal. It was bad.
Mm.
And then like also like I wasn't I'm a pretty not popular but like social person. I really like talking to people. And like to see comment after comment of like on Facebook and YouTube on like the first ad, that was brutal. To see just people hate me for the fact of me living. Uh so all that was difficult at first. I've kind of detached myself now, and because I'm so much smaller, I kind of look at it like as like a badge of honor.
Mm.
But like there are moments where like if my confidence is like weary and like or not steady and strong, and then like or like I'm having a bad moment. If I saw something like that, it would probably affect me pretty badly. But I mean, I've detached myself. I'm happy about where I am. It's more of like a look back and know that I conquered it kind of thing. I'm not that same person, so it's not as bad as it was. And most of the time, it's actually pretty good. But at any moment, I could just break down and cry.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine because I think that clip of you went pretty viral. Like some of the 600 pound life clips get a lot of views, millions of views. And
Yeah.
like you said, the UK one had like 6 million views. And I can only
No,
imagine
there's
as
one. There's one that has like 30 million views on YouTube.
holy shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
yours
one
yours was a viral hit, no doubt. And I can only
that's what's
imagine someone who hasn't
so
spent
that is
time.
one thing
Yeah.
that's it's still weird to me. Like when I go somewhere in public, 30 million is a lot of views.
Mhm.
Like if I go to like a grocery store, most likely there's someone there that has seen like a. I mean, there's probably two, multiple. No one really recognizes me that much
No.
anymore.
I would
Um,
never make that connection between the two. Yeah.
unless they know me from like my own channel or like this kind of thing, or they know that I've done stuff with like Oompa, or they saw like a TikTok or like random stuff. They may like one time I was at a Braves game last year when they played the Dodgers for like the National League Championship. Some girl walked up to me and was like, "Casey King," and she watched my YouTube channel. She knew
Hmm.
who I was. That's
That's
how she
nice.
recognized me. I was like, "This never happened. This is so weird. I love you." I wanted to get a picture with her, but I forgot. But yeah, like no one really ever recognizes me anymore unless they like still follow me now or like they've seen me from something recent. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can only imagine, like, as someone, especially who's not used to having that kind of exposure on the internet, reading comments about your body and stuff must have been
Listen,
just horrible.
there were people that were just like, why does does he just want to die? Why does he keep eating? Why won't he stop? How does he get around? There'd be the occasional, he's actually pretty mobile for being so big. I'm kind of proud of him. And then like there'd be some random nice ones, but then it'd be like, why didn't he just like walk into traffic? This guy's a blob. Java the Hutt. Like I got oh my like Wings of Redemption, like even I don't know if you know. I'm sure you actually know who that is, but like compared to like so many. I mean, Nick Avocado now, like just so many people. I was used like I was telling you earlier. I was used on other channels in like funny little memes and gifs. Like there were full on memes about me, like that were like if you just Google. It's also really weird that if I Google Casey King, like I pop up
Yeah.
immediately. There's an actor as well, but like crazy that like like if you type in Casey King on YouTube, 1,000% there's clips of me immediately. Like, and that's kind of cool, but also terrible because they're going to be awful videos.
Well, so I'm kind of curious now about the weight loss journey. Was there something in particular where you're like, okay, I'm going to lose the weight, or was it all kind of a downhill? I don't want to make it sound too easy, but
No,
since you got
no.
this surgery, everything kind of
Yeah.
fell into place.
So for years when I was bigger, my mom and my dad were like, "We got to do something. There's got to be something going on." So my mom was in the background, kind of like trying to find a way to get me a surgery. She was willing to pay for it, but it just never panned out. And not having insurance makes it astronomically, like for us, it's more expensive. Um, so even when I was younger and I was fat, just normal fat, like I was 250 in high school, and then I just ballooned bigger and bigger. I did Metabolife. I did. There's a phentamine, whatever that. There's a like a. It turns out there's just a speed pill now, but it was like a weight loss pill at one point. I did like five other pills. I tried diets. I tried going to the gym. But 10 years ago, my nephew was born, and it was right around the time that like the surgery was like the show was like possible, and that my nephew being born, and then kind of like having the opportunity given to me, and then being like, I could, if I get this surgery, it could really change my life. I could end up with a wife and kids. So like the possibility of it happening, my nephew being born, and I just wanted to like be a good uncle. Like I wanted, because like I've never had a chance to really mold anyone and like impress upon like my beliefs or my humor or my personality on anyone. I was like, I could be this kid's uncle and be like a really good person to him and have great time, like protect him and give him love. And I was like, that sounds really cool. And I was like, what if I could like have a wife and kids and a family and
Hmm.
just my like wanting to have a life and wanting to be a good uncle and just for so long this is another one but like for so long I was dependent on like everyone, my friends, my family, and now like I try to be a person that they can depend on to like talk to, or like if they need something I help them, like I'll help them move, or if they need me somewhere I try to be there. I just wanted to be a person instead of just like a big fat blob. It was
Right.
bad.
That is a big difference because yet at that size you kind of are dependent on other people. It's got to feel amazing to
For,
be able to actually help someone else with something.
yeah, it's wild.
What was the hardest part about losing 600 pounds, you know?
They're this. I had never had surgery like ever. I had stitches twice, and then being so never having surgery, never even being put under. There was a big question of like, am I gonna die? Like, is this gonna kill
Well,
me? Am
there is
I
a
gonna wake up?
chance. There is a chance that you're
Oh
going to
yeah,
die at that
like
size, right?
yeah. That's why in the beginning. So in the beginning before the surgery, there's two things. They want you to try and lose weight to show that you can stick to the lifestyle, and then also like the smaller you are, the easier it is to get to like your stomach and get around like your organs. So they ask you to lose weight before the surgery. Um, so just getting the surgery itself was scary, and like the day of, I cried from the walk in to check in. I cried in the waiting room. I cried when they showed me leaving the room. I cried as I was walking down the hallway. I cry in the bed when I'm talking to my mom and my family before surgery. I was a mess the whole day. It was brutal. But the hardest part is definitely the surgery and then right after, because right after the surgery you can't do anything but drink liquids,
Hmm.
and then you go to like soft solids, which is like pureed food, like baby food kind of. That's the hardest part, because you want food so badly, like your
Right.
brain still tells you let's have a chicken sandwich. It
Yeah.
won't be that bad, but it could like kill you and rupture like
Really.
this the healing process.
Yeah,
I had like one
there's a lot
good.
of people on this the show who after the surgery or immediately after the surgery, not just on the show but people who get that procedure who are unable to stick to the diet and they somehow find a way to eat or drink stuff that doesn't allow them to lose weight. Was that ever a situation you found yourself in?
For me personally, no, because like I, while I am sort of I'm ignorant to like all the things of like hospitals and surgery and stuff, but when they said like, "Hey, your stomach has to heal, you can't have food," I was like, "Done."
Hmm.
Hey, this is something you won't be able to handle. Stick on this. I listened. I went to even after the show was done filming. I went to see my nutritionist and my like doctor every single month, multiple times. I saw them. I know for a fact that I saw them 5 times more than anyone else on the show with me. I
Hmm.
just recently stopped going right before COVID. I would see them all the time. I would get weighed in. I would tell them what I was doing. I would tell them what I was eating, my exercise, what I was drinking. I wanted to be so informed in every way, shape, and form to make sure I lost as much weight as possible. Um, and I wish I could, I wish, I mean, of course, I wish COVID had never happened because I could have kept going to them and kept getting advice. But because the one thing I actually am a little upset with myself, I know I did really well and 600 pounds is a lot, but I know I could have done better. I know I could have lost more weight. I would be smaller now if I hadn't made some mistakes along the way, which sucks, but it's whatever. It's a learning process. I'm
Well,
now
why do you
30.
say it like you still can't lose weight?
Well, because you plateau like super hard at certain times.
Hmm.
You can't lose weight forever. Like you can't just drop 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 20 pounds. Your body has to catch up. And
Hmm.
then also as you lose weight, you get to a point to where you have to start changing things. Like you can't just do the same thing from 600 pounds to 250 pounds. You have to adapt. You have to change what, like your exercise. You have to change what you're eating. You have to cut back more and more. You have to
It
do
gets
more and
harder
more.
and harder to lose the
Yeah, it
weight.
gets harder and
Yeah.
harder. And if you're
Yeah.
not willing to evolve your process and change the way you're doing things, you just won't keep losing weight. So now I'm sitting at like 253, 252, 254, and like I have to do more and try harder to lose more weight. And if I had done that along the way more often, I probably would be smaller now. And not. I mean, I am happy with the weight loss, but like I know I could have done things a little better and been more strict and changed quicker.
I wouldn't feel bad. You seem like, of
No,
all the people I've seen on the show, I mean, you seem to be the most successful. So obviously,
I may have lost them. Like I don't know if I can say I've lost them. I don't know if I was the biggest to ever be on the show. I don't know. Like people ask me about you watch the Sisters by the Ton, the Slayton Sisters. Do you know who Stephen Asante is? I know of him. I've never. I don't watch those shows. I can't. It's to know what they do with like the narrative of the show and they make people look a certain way. I connect with that too much, and I'm like, that's probably not real. They
mm,
made them do that. They're probably not that big of an asshole. Like I know that they changed the narrative, and like the Slayton sisters, I don't watch that at all. Because I know going on the show they offer you the surgery, and the fact that the one girl hasn't gotten it, she just doesn't want to. People enjoy watching the freak show. They enjoy watching like controversy and like fights and stuff. So as long as one sister never gets the surgery and the other sister did, they'll never stop filming. They'll never stop being popular.
do you think it's the one sister doesn't want the surgery, or Discovery just likes
Oh
the
no,
gravy train?
it's both. It's both. It's a
Hmm.
combination. They're going to tell her it's available, but she's going to choose not to get. People like to be popular, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
getting
yeah,
paid
yeah.
to do the show.
They're
They're getting
huge.
paid.
The twins. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting paid to do this. So like they also,
Okay.
the first season you're probably gullible. You don't really know how everything works. The second season, you're like, wait a minute, we're still really popular and we're just gaining a following. Third season comes and you're like, why should I get this surgery? I'm getting paid. It'll always be there for me to do it. I'm getting paid. I'm becoming more and more popular. I'm
Wow.
gaining a following without doing almost anything. Sure, I'm arguing with my sister, but at the end of the day, we know we love each other. So all this they're doing, like they're never going to end the show. People are
Interesting.
always going to tune in to watch this smaller sister and this bigger sister argue. They're going to watch the controversy. No one like it's everyone likes the fight. No one I mean like people pull over to look at I tell people this all the time. People stop to look at car crashes. They don't stop to look at weddings. So
Hmm.
like this controversy, this terrible thing that's happening on TV, they're gonna watch that. People ask how I'm doing, but TLC has never offered me like
I
a
find
follow
that
up.
very interesting that TLC has never gone
Yeah,
back to check up on you, because I personally think people would want to see that. I mean, evident by this interview now, you know.
yeah. Well, like, so they've contacted me twice, and it was, do you know anyone fat that would want to be on?
Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Because I mean, fat people do know fat people, and there are a lot of people that contact me through like Instagram and YouTube and like Facebook. They're like, hey, I need to lose weight, and I try to help them as much as I can, but I can't tell them exercises because I had the surgery. Like my information is very limited. I mean, I do know a little bit, but like I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a health coach. I can only tell you what I did, so it's kind of limited what I can really give somebody on advice. But yeah, they've asked me like two or three times, "Do you know anyone overweight?" And I've sent them people, but I mean, maybe at some point they'll want to contact me. They'll want to do something, but I don't know. I don't know.
So
Also,
you
we talk about the show so much with like I'm not related to so and so. I may or may not have badmouthed them before, so maybe they're not even a fan of me anymore. I don't know. Whatever.
so they did pay you though for your time on
Oh
there.
yeah.
I was wondering about that. Okay.
So yeah, you get it's an 11 the season I was on was because everyone says it's 600 pound life. The real name of the show was Family by the Ton, but I don't even correct people anymore because our show's not really that much known of. uh so there's 11 episodes on the season. We're only featured in 6. They pay you for all 11, and then they paid for the surgery. So I did make some money. It's not a lot, but I mean, like, It was a lot back then to me because I had nothing. But
Are you would you tell us how much they paid you?
so it's basically like $1,000 per episode, which I mean I mean it's not bad. Like I don't want it all people to be like
Plus
that's a
the
lot of
surgery. Yeah, I would
yeah
say
yeah.
yeah, I would say
And
for the
I had no insurance. They
yeah.
managed to work out the whole thing with the surgery. So like, plus like really, here's the thing: even if they paid me $100, I wouldn't care. The benefits of like being smaller, I have a job, I live a life. I didn't even do anything before. Every yeah, like the money is one of the last things I care about. Like now it's great because I know I did get paid, but back then I was like, let's just do
You're
this.
right, right, right.
No.
So, how do you handle your food triggers now? I mean, I'm sure that addiction, that
It's
dependency doesn't go away, right?
No, like, so I don't just like binge. Like, I binge on my level, but that's like eating half a taco salad. Like, that's my binging because my stomach just can't hold much. I do cheat on my diet because now I'm trying to do like keto, but it's very limited. And I try to just make sure I get a small amount of whatever I'm craving. Like it's portion control. It's finding healthy substitutes for things because really, usually, you're not craving chocolate cake. You're more so craving like something sweet. So I'll have like a mini Butterfinger and I'm
Mm,
good. Or
mm.
like I'll have 5 or 6 potato chips. I'll have pork rinds because I just want something crunchy. I want some salsa, so I'll just put a ton of salsa on one chip and or eat like 5 of them like that. It's just finding healthy alternatives for things.
Mm.
Finding like if I want, I don't know, if I want like a really big wrap, I'll just get like some deli meat and get like some keto tortilla like wraps, and I'll fill one of those with like ham or turkey, lettuce, cheese, onion, and then like a little bit of
You're
mayonnaise and eat
controlling
that.
your portions basically, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. Like I'm not ever gonna eat like I said at a buffet or like I don't know, or like a giant steak, but I'll go get a ribeye and I'll eat half of it or
Mm.
a third of it and then I'll save it for later. Like it's just portion control and being like finding smart substitutes for things that you're missing and you're craving.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
So I want to
I
ask you.
still really I still really like French fries. I just have like 2 of them
Oh
and I
man.
don't.
See, that's one of my big issues now is those French fries, dude. I can't control myself. I really can't. Like, in a sense, obviously, I was never as big as you, but I have that. I know the pain, bro. I know the pain.
And that's another thing people ask me. They're like, I never got to your size, but like my struggle, my journey doesn't take away from anything you've experienced. Like your life is your life, and you've been big in your mind or in your life. So I totally get it. Like I connect with people. Like I am such an empath. And like when I see someone like big, like I work with big people when I'm going to the grocery store and I see someone big, I want to walk up to them and be like, have you ever thought about doing this surgery? I can get you in touch with this person. Hey, DM me on
Mm.
Instagram. Let's
Mm.
talk. Like I want to help people. If anything, I wish I could tell so many people that are like, because there are people that were bigger than me. There are people that are legitimately 1,000 pounds, just no one knows they exist.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wish I could help so many more people than I'm able to. I wish I could talk to so many more people that are like drowning in that like just world of like obesity and like addiction with food and be like, hey, like you can lose weight. Like it's possible. It's hard, but you can. I'm proof of it. Let me
Mm.
help you. Let me talk to you. But
It's
not
hard, yeah.
everybody. Yeah,
Actually,
like I
have
can't.
you been able to pinpoint kind of the underlying psychological issues that made you that big? Have you had a chance to kind of think about all that stuff and address it? Has that been part of your journey?
So you do see a psychiatrist like one time. Like they filmed that. It's on the show. I probably should now try to see someone because I don't have all those answers. I know that like I'm emotionally like dependent on people. Like I love people. I had somewhat of a rough childhood in like making friends. I was just like super clingy. I mean, I
Hmm.
still kind of am. And I I lived on like a cul-de-sac where like my friends were limited. Uh, like I have memories of sitting in the cul-de-sac on the road, like playing alone because I was waiting for someone to come outside because I wasn't allowed to go in their house because I was loud.
Hmm.
Like I was really loud and I had like ADD or whatever back then. So yeah, I just didn't have a lot of friends when I was like a little kid, and food was always there. It made me happy and it tasted good. Like I know when I was like 12 or 13, I was cooking entire bags of like French fries in a deep fryer and
Hmm.
just eating with
Wow.
ketchup and salt. I would just eat the whole bag. Uh, I've always been dependent on food. It just becomes this one thing that makes a person. I don't know like the psychological level, but I know that like food is there, it tastes good, it makes you happy, so you lean on it
Yeah,
because
what's interesting is you describe yourself as a kid cooking a whole bag of French fries. It's like if you know food it can be as addictive as any drug, and it's like a kid
yeah,
wouldn't be smoking cigarettes or drink. Well, most kids wouldn't be smoking or drinking or shooting up hard drugs when they're 8 years old. But with food, they're getting hooked young, and that probably is what make it can snowball.
another thing is like it's if we want to compare if we can compare food to drugs, it's available everywhere.
Right, and you
It's
need it.
legal. And exactly, you need it to survive. Like the whole thing, the cliche saying of "it kills me" when they're like, "Stop eating fatty." You have to
You
eat to
can't.
survive, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a real insidious thing about food addiction is that you can't just say, "Okay, I'm done eating forever."
Yeah, like, and it's everywhere. And the worst things are so easily available. McDonald's, it's so cheap, it's right there, and it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Burger King, Checkers, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, there's just candy. Like, it's right there at the front of the grocery store, at the gas station, or whatever. It's right there for you to find it. It's not hidden. It's not hard to get.
It's funny for people who have food addictions. It's just the worst society to live in because, like you said, it's everywhere. It's like if you were a gambling addict and there's a casino on every corner.
If you also, here's another thing. People don't understand that, like,
Actually, no, it's even worse. It's if you were a gambling addict and you had to go in the casino to get your groceries.
yeah, or like, think about the fact that if you saw someone, okay, let's just pick heroin. If you driving down, no one does heroin publicly. Like, you're not just walking into a gas station and there's a guy shooting up heroin, or like sitting at McDonald's. But there are people, you can walk into McDonald's and you can order $500 worth of food and no one is going to tell you to stop. No one is going to tell you to
Yeah.
quit eating.
And you know
No
what
one is
else
going
they
to
do?
Yeah, no one's going to walk over to your table and be like, "Hey man, that Big Mac's not healthy." No one's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
You could do it all day. You could literally eat there every single day of the week, 3 meals a day. No one's going to tell you what you're doing is bad for you.
And here's
Your
another thing
family
that
may be like,
the food industry does that other vices and addictions can't do.
"Yeah,
McDonald's, they shoot the fucking aroma out of the building so that you can
it's."
smell that shit from like a mile away.
When I drive by Burger King, I smell it immediately, and I want a Whopper Junior so badly. I still like bad food a lot. Like, it's
Yeah.
very. I do crave pizza all the time. Um, like, it's, oh god, I want pizza all the time.
Me
But
too, bro. Me too.
I saw the video where you're just eating pizza in the interview. So I remember that episode. But yeah, I like pizza, and I want it all the time. I just don't get it. But like, no one. It's an addiction and like a thing you can struggle with, and no one's gonna ever tell you, "Hey man, that's gonna kill you," until you get to 500, 400 pounds. Like, you can be an overweight person, and no one's gonna tell you unless you're going to see a nutritionist or like you have a trainer at a gym. They're gonna tell you what you're doing is bad, but no random person is gonna tell you until you're at a ridiculous size that, like, "Yo man, you should stop." It's not gonna happen.
That's a really insightful kind of analysis, I think, on the food addiction and how it can be so difficult to get away from.
Yeah,
One
it's
thing,
it's
what
one addiction you can have, and no one's going to tell you it's an addiction or it's bad for you until it's too late.
exactly? You're like hopelessly hooked at that point when everyone starts judging you and just. I want to ask you. I saw the photo of the excess skin. Have
Yeah.
you What's the situation? Are you waiting on a surgery? Have you had surgery?
So I haven't had it yet. I still have the skin. At one point, I mean, I probably so the only thing I've ever done, I have looked into doctors, but like I went and talked to one, and I got some answers from him, but he closed his practice and then went to work at a hospital, so he's not even an option anymore. And then like it's something I've never. I don't know how to look into plastic surgeons. I don't know where the best skin removal guy is. I don't know where the worst guy is. I don't know if I should do it in Mexico. I don't know if I should do it in Georgia.
Why
I don't
would
know
you
if I
do it
should
in
look at
Mexico?
because it's cheaper and there are like I know when people hear about you doing a surgery in Mexico, it's like it sounds scary, but like that's where they do a lot of these things, and there's
Hmm.
some pretty super legitimate, really established doctors that work down there. Like I've talked to people on Instagram that have had it done, so I do know of like one guy down there that's amazing. Plus, like there's plastic surgery and then there's full skin removal, and I need full skin removal. I don't need a
Hmm.
tummy tuck. I don't need my tits done. I need like massive amounts of skin removed from my body and like everything changed. I also have a herniated belly button that I need worked on so badly.
How
um
much does that procedure cost for the full skin removal?
I don't know. I
Right.
don't know. I don't know exact numbers. I know that my insurance would help a good bit. I don't know the full price. Um, I don't even really know. Like, I don't know if I should be talking to someone in LA because that's where they do a ton of plastic surgery. I don't know if I should use. Like, I don't even really. I have more research to do into it. I have to figure it out because I
Are you
want it
putting
done
it off?
ASAP.
Are you putting it off kind of mentally, or is it something you want to get done but you just not got around to doing it? Like,
So it's definitely the second part, but I am terrified of it. I know it's going to hurt a lot. I know it's going to be extremely painful. Um, and then like random stuff keeps popping up in my life that I don't want to miss out on. My sister's getting married in April. My
hmm.
brother is planning a trip that I want to go on with him and my nephew. That's around April as well.
You probably,
But I mean,
yeah, you probably go out
it's
of
something
commission for a while, right?
yeah, you'll be down for a while. Like if I could have it tomorrow, February, March, April, I would probably have enough time to be healed. I could be healed for the wedding, but I don't know if I could. He's trying to go to Disney World. My nephew is so like he's trying to go to Disney World. My nephew's first time. I want to be there for that. Um, it's the one in Florida, but like it's not something I have to go to. It's something I want to be a part of, but whatever. But I have to look more into it. But also like I live life so much and I try to be doing so many things that like it's hard for me to just sit down on my phone and be like, okay, skin removal. Let's look this up. Like I just don't think to do it. It's something I tremendously want. I have insane like confidence body issues. I really as much even though I've lost a lot of weight, you'll see myself as like an overweight guy, big time. I don't have like I can talk to you or people all day, but like I have no confidence when it comes to like relationships. I still see myself as like a real fat,
I
ugly
wanted to
looking dude.
ask, have you been on any dates or anything or any romantic entanglements since you've lost all the weight?
So yes and no, but like I mean like I have a decent social media thing and like there will be females that'll message me from like I joke around and say they're from like Narnia because like they're from Washington or they're from California or they live in Wisconsin or Chicago, Illinois. It's very usually they're across the country and they're not drivable. I was
Where are
talking
you
to a
living right
girl.
now?
I'm still in Georgia. I still live at my dad's because I was saving up everything I was making to possibly pay for skin removal. So, and it's just like, it's just financially more stable. And then the plan was after I get skin removal and I'm healed, because I will need somewhere to just lay around and be useless. I would need someone to kind of help take care of me. It would just be easier to do it here at my mom's. And then I was going to move out and get an apartment. I'm still very much trying to get out of this godforsaken house.
Your
Because
dad's
it's
got to be pretty stoked, though, eh?
Oh yeah, I mean, people ask like how our relationship is. It's 1,000 times better than it was because I'm able to do stuff for him.
Yeah.
He still helps me in some ways, but like, and I still live with him, but like, I pay for things. I help as much as I can. I drive his truck as well. But like we get along a lot better. It's just this house is so small. I can't stop buying T-shirts because now I wear like an extra large, and my clothing is always changing. So like I don't spend a ton of money on clothes, but I if I see a shirt now, I can buy it, so I do. Uh,
So
and like
so the dating life is kind of stagnant, you would say.
Yeah, like so Georgia wise, I can't find a single. I mean, I hit. Listen, I am. When I say I'm not confident, I'm so much more confident than I was because if I see a girl on Facebook that I'm friends with and she's single and I think she's pretty, I will literally be like, "Hey, like I don't even know how I know you, but you're like super attractive and like I'm single. Would you want to go on a date?" And then like it sometimes it is a yes, but then they're busy, they're depressed, they can't get over past relationship. There's a lot of reasons, and I get it. Like the
Is Tinder not a thing
COVID.
there, or is it just not a
It,
lot of people in your area?
so here's the problem with Tinder. Like you have to. I'm not gonna say I'm terrible looking, but like I'm always changing my pictures because I get smaller. I take more pictures. So like right now, I look the best I've ever looked, and my Tinder profile isn't awful, but it still has pictures of me like it's very hard to you have to turn on your personality. Like I have to show people I'm funny. I have to show people I'm personable. If you're not legitimately good looking on Tinder, people are just like left swipe. It's
Yeah,
very much a judge a book by its cover.
yeah,
You have to have something to pull them in. So I have like a couple pictures of my dog, and I have some pictures that show that I'm funny. But I have pictures that show that I look decent and I can dress and I'm I'm okay looking. So like I try to look as presentable as possible. But if no one reads your bio, I think I have in the top 20 wittiest bios there are. But like no one reads that. No one cares how funny you are when you type. So like if you don't have pictures that draw them in, you're not going to do it.
yeah.
There's so many
Tinder's a battleground for sure.
because it's legitimately like I use Tinder, I use Bumble, I use Facebook dating, which people don't even know exists.
Got it.
I don't. I'm just trying to date. I want to take a girl, female, out for food, go to a movie, go hiking, go walking, go to a bar. I don't. It's very much a hookup mentality for everyone else, and I'm 37 and just trying to like date someone. It's hardcore, difficult. It's bad.
You'll get there. I have faith. You look great. I mean, I think you look great.
Thanks.
I think
Appreciate it.
that you're a
You're
sweet
handsome
guy
as
with a
well.
lot to offer, you know.
Thanks. I try.
But here's something I wanted to do for you because I think we have the means and we'd love to help you. Why don't we send up a little GoFundMe to do a little skin removal surgery? Just a
That'd
little,
be.
just to set
It's
up a little something for you.
no. I listen. The funny thing is people on like Instagram have been telling me to do that forever. I felt it felt weird for like two reasons. One, I didn't know a price, and then two, like it's weird for me to set up a GoFundMe for me
Well,
and
I'll
then be
tell you
like,
what. I'll set it up, and I got $5,000 on it. How about that?
I appreciate that's pretty dope. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And I
I
bet
can't
you
like
are. I
that's
bet
dope.
you our fans are going to come through with some
Yeah,
generosity as well.
listen, I mean, I'll you send me the link, I'll post it on my page and people can like that's awesome. I appreciate it. Like it just feels so weird and disingenuous for me to set up a GoFundMe for me.
Well,
Like
we
it
got
feels
it. You don't got to do that
I,
anymore.
I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thanks a lot, man. That's
Yeah,
dope.
of course. It's my pleasure, man. We want to see you do well. I mean, I've been there from the beginning, and it's just so it's so inspiring and amazing. And I just wish the best for you. And I'm
No, I
sure
appreciate
everyone watching this video is going to feel the same way. So I'm super excited for you. I hope that you get that surgery. I hope that it's everything you want to help with your
it. Much as
confidence.
well.
And I'm just super inspired by your story. I think you're a great guy, and I wish you all the best. And I hope you get some strange ass soon.
Man, that's you know what, Ethan, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Of all the things, let's get that last one. Let's get that
Sure, yeah, of course.
in there. Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks a lot,
I'm
man.
gonna yeah, that's about all I've got. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, like thanks featuring me. Like I think it was a year and a half ago. Thanks for doing the thing. You just like as soon as you put out that video, people were hitting me up on Instagram. and I was getting like the followers or whatever like popped up, and then I was like, "What's this?" It was like, "You're featured in this video." He pulled you up again. I was like, "What?" And so and then they sent me the timestamp. Thanks for showing me off. Thanks for your community was pretty cool too. Like Reddit was dope. The Twitter people, I have no presence on Twitter. I don't even know how that works. Reddit, I really don't either. But the Reddit people were great. YouTube comments were cool. Your fans, everyone that's ever watched the show or says nice stuff, you're all awesome and beautiful people, and I appreciate it. It's pretty like people saying the positive thing. Just you now, that's like you look great. You've come so far. That just helps motivate me to do more. So I appreciate it. I mean, I don't know what you'll shout out, my YouTube, my Instagram, or whatever you
Send me the
plug.
links. I'll put it all in the description. Whatever you want. We'll
I'll
talk afterwards, and you could just send me all the stuff you want.
Yeah, but again, thank you for everything, man. It's dope. This is awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. All right. Good. Take care. Thank you.
You too.